No. No, 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 no. 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 No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Oh no, this can't be happening. Please, not today. Please, not today. No. Mother's bathroom. Yes, I still have my Christmas tree up. What of it? No! What's up, YouTube friends? Now, I decided to jump on the bandwagon and join all this hysteria about the toilet paper. So as I was cruising Pinterest, I came across reusable toilet paper, also known as family cloths. Now, I don't know about you, but something about that name just does not set well with me. I picture me on my wedding day, looking beautiful in my dress, when Granny comes in the room to hand me my dowry box.
I've used this for 75 years and now it's yours.
Regardless, the things you're going to need to make these reusable toilet paper squares are some flannel. Now really you could just use any fabric you want, but I chose something that was nice and soft, because only the best for my booty. I just dug through my scrap box and found all of the flannel pieces that I had left over, and you might recognize this from the receiving blanket that I made, the self-binding receiving blanket. I'll link that video at the end of this one. And all I did was go ahead and cut these into 6 by 7 inch rectangles. Next, I'm just going to take 2 of my rectangles. I'm going to lay it so that the right sides are facing. And with a couple pins, I'm going to leave a 2-inch opening on one of the sides. I prefer to do it on one of the longer sides. Now I'm just going to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to start at this first pin. With a 1/4 inch seam allowance, I'm going to sew all the way around, stopping at my last pin, and don't forget to backstitch at the beginning and the end. Alright, so I'm over here at my sewing machine. I'll be using a straight stitch and a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I have my needle right where my first pin was, and I'm going to backstitch. And just keep sewing. When I get a 1/4 inch away from my side, which on my presser foot there's a little notch right here. And I know that's a 1/4 inch away from my needle, so that's where I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop with my needle down, raise my presser foot and spin. And then just sew. I'm coming up to my last pin, so don't forget to backstitch. Alright, so it should look like that. Next, I'm going to take my fabric scissors and I'm going to just clip the corners just to reduce some bulk. And make sure you don't go through your threads. Using a bone folder or a chopstick, I'm going to make sure that my corners are nice and sharp and that my seams are laying flat. Then I'm just going to come up to my opening. I'm going to tuck in my raw edges and just give it a little tug, and it should fold nicely, and give it a press. So now we just want to close our little opening here at the top, and you could just use a straight stitch. So I would just use about an 1/8 inch seam allowance, backstitch at the beginning, and sew all the way around, backstitching at the end. But I need a little more flair for my derriere, so I'm going to be using a zigzag stitch. I'll be using red thread, and I'm going to start at the beginning, and I'm just going to sew all the way around, backstitching at the beginning and the end, and that's just going to give a little more decorative interest. I'll see you at the sewing machine. So this time I'm going to use a zigzag stitch. I'm going to bump up my length from a 2.5 to a 3. And I'm going to put my width at a 3 also. And I'm just going to line up my fabric right here on this little groove on my presser foot. I'm not going right to the edge. And that's just to make sure I catch enough fabric to close my opening. So I'm going to backstitch in the beginning again. And sew all the way around, backstitching at the end. And just like that, our reusable toilet paper / family cloths are done. Now they suggest using these wet, so before you go drop the kids off at the pool, grab yourself a wipe and wring it out in the sink. These are so quick and easy you could whip up a whole bunch of them and go sell them to those people waiting in line for toilet paper for hours. Now when I saw these on Pinterest, I had to laugh, but then I started reading more into it, and actually just the production of toilet paper is very harmful for the environment, and everybody uses it. So it's constantly putting out more pollution. Now could I ever get Mother to switch to these? No, she would never go for it. However, I did think of a good use for these that actually will cut down on toilet paper. Those bum guns, those little sprayers that attach to our US toilets, are on the rise, and I actually ordered one for myself. Because if you stay ready, you ain't gots to get ready. And you still have to use toilet paper to dry yourself off. And I don't know about you, but wet booty and dry toilet paper isn't a great mix. You basically just need something to dry yourself off with, and then you can just throw it in the laundry with your regular clothing. If you like this video and want to see more of my videos, go hit the big red subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. If you have a question about this video or any of my other videos, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to support this channel, check out my links down below. And as always, thanks for watching, happy quarantine, and I'll see you next time.